Bishop accountability. The nation is waiting for a vote on how the church's top leaders will decide to hold their own accountable for the clergy sex abuse crisis. Their spring conference is happening at a time when its leader is battling what one victim is calling a cover-up of sex abuse allegations. Correspondent Wyatt Goolsby reports from the bishop's meeting in Baltimore. Good evening, Wyatt.
Good evening, Lauren. Still no vote on day 2 of the conference on this issue. That's expected tomorrow, but much of the talk today has been focused on the apostolic letter that Pope Francis put out. The document is called a motu proprio. Released 2 weeks ago, it requires priests and nuns worldwide to report sexual abuse or potential cover-ups from their superiors, by their superiors, to higher church authorities. And right now what we're waiting on is for the bishops here to decide how they're going to implement the new church law in the United States. The bishops begin their afternoon meetings praying for God's guidance as they work to find solutions to the sex abuse crisis. One common thread this week: nearly everyone agrees lay Catholics need to be involved in addressing allegations of abuse and holding bishops accountable. Cardinal Daniel DiNardo, the president of the Bishops' Conference, says he's confident the bishops are making progress.
We need to put together, for lack of a better word, a package, a whole way in which we deal with the issues of transparency, the way we deal with a bishop in the diocese, that there's an accountability. And I think what we're doing this week is very good. I myself am very hopeful.
But not everyone is so hopeful. This week, clergy abuse victims and advocates have been protesting outside the hotel where the bishops are meeting. Some are even calling on Cardinal DiNardo to resign. In the last week, DiNardo has faced public scrutiny in his home archdiocese of Galveston-Houston. This 55-year-old businesswoman says she reported her abuse by Monsignor Frank Rossi 3 years ago. She claims DiNardo thanked her and said Rossi would never pastor again. The Monsignor was later moved to the Diocese of Beaumont near Houston. She wrote a letter to the Vatican.
I am so sorry to say that the Church has been too willing to protect offending priests and less concerned regarding the pain of the victims.
While the priest remains under investigation, Cardinal DiNardo says he did not mishandle the situation, as some claim.
I've tried to be very straightforward with my people. I know when we put out the names of the accused, I had a news conference with 4 stations and all, so I'm really very open and receptive.
The allegations of DiNardo's mishandling have not been brought up among the bishops in open session. Instead, the bishops have been citing other examples, like the former Archbishop of Washington, Theodore McCarrick, who was defrocked. They've also brought up retired West Virginian Bishop Michael Bransfield, who himself has been accused of sexually abusing seminarians and young people. Lauren?
Correspondent Wyatt Goolsby reporting from the bishops' meeting in Baltimore. Thank you, Wyatt.